Hi there. Welcome back to Life Between Coasts. We're glad you're here. I'm your host, Leah. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for allowing me to take you on my journey and for a moment in time, feel what I felt had a moment in my shoes. I know some of the first episodes were a little dark, let's just say. Death is not an easy topic to talk about. But I'm glad that you made it through it because it's very important that you understand my belief system. That although those bad things happen to me, I don't let that drive my life. This is where the universe has been so important in guiding me and allowing me to almost float without a specific destination in mind, but allowing me to enjoy the journey. Ups, downs, we all have them. But that's what connects us as humans. My belief system and why synchronicity is so important to me is because I believe that the universe has some amount or some degree of effect in my life. I believe that, yes, there is a higher power, and that higher power also has some effect on my life and my belief system. But above all, I believe in all potential sources that may affect my belief system. Even though I lost my mom over 25 years or 20 years ago, 21 years ago this year, I just lost my dad. In the first episode, I spoke and said my mom said that I confused reality with fantasy, but perhaps it was my brother that was actually talking to me. That makes me believe that they're still here with us, that maybe they're walking around in a silent manner, but they're still around us. They're still letting us know that they're here, and they're helping to guide us just the same. Whether we want to call them a guardian angel or a spirit, they're here. I believe that the planets and the stars and when we were born and where we were born play a role in defining us individually. I believe in speaking with mediums or psychics. It might sound scary, but sometimes it's the best way to get an answer, especially if you're angry about something and you need to put something to bed. I talk about the reaction. The one thing that you have full control over is your reaction. If I look back at the darkness, I say, wow, I could be crushed. I could be, oh my gosh, how am I going to live? I called myself a soul survivor. Survivor being the key word. So many of us go through life as if we're always a victim. Bad things always happen to me. Why does this happen to me? If I carried all of that with me, I would not be the person I am today. That person, the person I am right now, is a person who loves life, who loves people, that enjoys a good story, and that I'm somebody that just wants to help you. I want to help you achieve the same satisfaction with life that I have today because I've trusted the universe to bring me here. My reaction to the past is that, yes, it happened, but I can't dwell on it. I need to live my life. Talking about the birth charts, the stars, the planets, and how they align. It's amazing at how specific that these items, these tools can be. To offer a comparison, I have a birthday coming up. As we know, April 26th. That's my birthday. I share that birthday with several people. In fact, I think the statistic of that is I think it's 23 people in the same room it takes to find somebody with a shared birthday. I happen to share my birthday with the First Lady of the United States. We were born 9 years apart. We were born on 2 different continents. My birth chart shows me as pretty well balanced between feminine and masculine. So I've noted that I was the boy and the girl. I was the boy for my dad, going snowmobiling and boating and playing pool and going to PGA golf tournaments. I was the girl that went shopping with my mom or traveled a bit and just had fun. My sun sign is a Taurus, which most people, if they know that, it's a bull. Hard-headed, stubborn, persistent. My moon sign is also a Taurus. That's an interesting mix there for me because that makes me even more bullheaded, I think. But interesting enough, using 2 parts of a birth chart. Now, I don't know when our First Lady was born. I don't know exactly what city she was born in. But reading this is my birth chart. It says Venus in Aries. So this is about love. It says Venus in Aries makes the person confident in their expression. Such people are optimistic and cheerful with a remarkable enthusiasm for life. I think that's a pretty good description of me. Interesting enough, the First Lady's Venus in Taurus. And one of the items in here that made me chuckle was it says they are fond of creative pursuits and also desire romantic partners with money. That's in her birth chart. Think about that. She didn't have a say in how that one worked out. She doesn't even know I put those numbers in. Happy birthday to both of us. When talking to a psychic or a medium, it can be eye-opening. Sometimes you need to go to ask a question to find an answer. Sometimes you need to speak to somebody to settle a disagreement or a problem, or maybe you found something. I indicated that when I was cleaning my dad's house out, I found something during that period of time. I found a box that had some paraphernalia in it, and I was livid. Now, the people around me that were helping me clean out the house were talking freely about a habit that my dad had. I was unaware of this habit. But all I could think of was, how could you do this to me, Dad? I bought you a house. I helped you live. I did these things for you, and you deceived me by having this drug habit. I didn't say anything to anyone. I was home. This was about a week later. And I was laying in my room and I was staring at the ceiling and I was very frustrated. Again, how could you betray me? How could you do this to me? So I was on the fence. Do I go and earn money or do I go and talk to a medium to put this to bed? My first inclination was go and earn money. I talked to my mister, and he indicated that my first intention wasn't capable because the items that I needed to complete the task weren't available to me at that moment. We have a local center near my office here in the area, and literally 5 minutes from my house. A couple weekends a month, they have open houses where they bring people in, mediums, healers, chakra healing, Reiki, all modes of spiritual healing. And I decided to go there instead and have a conversation with my father about what I found. He was waiting for me. I sat down with the medium, and all of this emotion poured out of me. And she was flustered, and she calmed the situation, and she said he's here, and he had to defend himself instantly. She felt my anger even before I arrived into that location. She stopped the reading and described it as a storm. She felt my Lyme disease symptoms before I arrived on site. She said, coming out of meditation, that she was short of breath, that she was dizzy, that she had lots of pain. She didn't realize that I was the storm that was coming to her doorstep. So I was there, and we talked. I asked about my mom. She said she's there, but he's too strong right now. He apologized. He said, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know how to love. I have a hole in me. I had a hard life. I told you he was adopted, and I'm certain that my grandfather and my grandmother absolutely loved him. But there were also some tough times with that. Growing up in a different period of time, so you're talking in the 1950s, it's not the same then to be an unwed mother. They used to consider those children bastard children. That word was a bad word in my household growing up. My uncles, great uncles, his uncles, apparently were not very nice to him either. So he had a lot of emptiness in him. First from being unwanted, then to being loved. So he was constantly, and then, trying to fill that void. And then he loses his son. So he had just as tough life, or even tougher of a life than I could have ever imagined. I'm not comparing myself in any way to him, as I don't compare myself to anybody else out in this world. But he had to make peace with me. I said, I forgive you. I am okay with what happened. I understand. I love you. And we put it to bed. Sometimes the hardest thing that you can do in life is say, I'm sorry, I forgive you. Looking back on the previous episodes of what I've told you, believe me, there are times that I've been a disappointment to others, just as much as I've been a disappointment to myself. I haven't been the best human, but I don't hold that against myself. If somebody does something wrong to me, steals from me, Maybe they needed it more than I did. I don't look at it as a personal assault. But everything that I do from this point forward, from 25 years ago, from 26 years ago, I look at what's happened and I forgive myself for the actions and say, I will do better. I will try harder. I learn from what I've done and the mistakes that I've made or the challenges that I've come across. And each day I get better. I hold myself accountable, but I forgive myself and I forgive others. Because the way I react is going to be different than they react. And I always told my dad that. He was the king of 30-year-old grudges. So, Dad, that person is not living his life. Man, did I get that guy. Every day I wake up just knowing that I got that guy. He doesn't care. He's living his life. So you need to forgive, not forget. Say, I learned my lesson, and move forward. One of the biggest things that guides me in this journey is music. Music is healing. Music speaks to you. I always say, what if you're driving down the road and somebody that's departed pops into your brain? Like my mom, for instance, and then a song comes on the radio like that. I know she's sitting next to me because that song reminds me of her and only she has control of that radio at that moment. That's how she speaks to me. We've started a playlist on our YouTube channel, Life Between Coasts. This playlist currently has 26 songs on it. The cherry on top, number 26, was added by Alexis. But the first 25 songs are songs that have gotten me through the last 4 years. The words have spoken to me. My personal anthem is called Born to Try. It's a song sung and written by Delta Goodrum. Two of the key lyrics in this song are, all that you see is me, and I was born to try. That's exactly what I want you to see right now. The foundation that I've laid for this podcast is that raw, authentic, human life that we live. And the key is that we're living it. We might have those bumps and bruises, but we're living our lives. This project, named the Anthem Project, is something that I want to be a living, breathing project that brings us all together. If you feel alone and you post your song and you put a comment, this is my song, name it, tell me why. I want to know why that song speaks to you. If you're by yourself and you feel that you're alone and other people are joined in on this anthem project with us, then you're no longer alone. You're connected with that person. Or you're connected with somebody in California or in Florida, all because we participated in one thing together. A positive thing, really. I have a second anthem. And that anthem is for this podcast. This anthem is what pulled me forward through that final leg of darkness to bring me to you today. That second anthem is I Believe by Christina Perri. Two parts of this song. The one line that spoke to me was, I believe that the darkness reminds us where light can be. There's a mantra at the end of it. I like mantras. Again, I don't compare myself to somebody else's situation, but I do acknowledge that sometimes somebody else's situation is much more dire than mine. My mister's mother, one of her favorite sayings, when anything bad would happen to her, she would say, if this is the worst thing that happens to me, I'm getting off pretty easy. I think that's true. The mantra in the song I Believe says, this is not the end of me, this is the beginning. So coming out of that darkness and finding the light, I would say to myself, this is not the end of me. This is the beginning. Another song, or several songs, that you'll find on this playlist are by Avril Lavigne. One specific was called Warrior. All three come from her album. And I can't recall. Oh, I think it's called Head Above Water. I'm sorry. But the lyrics that she has, it says, I'm a warrior. I fight for my life. I won't give up. I will survive. I'm stronger, and that's why I'm alive. Again, those are key words that pump you up, that say, I am here to live my life. Side note about that album is she actually wrote that while battling Lyme disease. When listening to those songs, I had no idea. But finding out after gave me confirmation that those were the songs that were fed to me because of the universe. So some of these songs that are on here right now are very emotional, very lyric-based, very make you heal to bring you forward. The Delta Goodrem song, when I started college for the second time, or started back to college, pursuing my business degree, one of my humanities teachers, we had to put this project together to describe our life. And it was the first time that I sat down to do anything after my mom had died. And that song came across. I'm not certain how I found it. It just popped up. She's an Australian artist. I never watched anything that her music would have been on, but that song arrived to me. And it's been my personal anthem ever since I've been 25 years old. We all need a personal anthem to keep us going. So, going back to our anthem project, what I need you to do is to go to our YouTube station, subscribe first, and of course share. Don't forget to do those things. But I need you to open up the Anthem Project. It's a public playlist. I need you to go in. I want you to post your anthem. And then I also want you to post in your comments, in my comments really, to connect us all, to tell me why that song is yours, what effect it has on you. And let's come together united for this one project and how music heals. It heals our soul. It heals our mind. It's a good place to be. So please join us. It is currently active and ready for your input. A couple other things that I would like to touch base on would be how to find us. You can locate us on Instagram, X, TikTok, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Please go in and subscribe to our channels. Make sure you share this information, because the more people we can reach, I think the better the world can be. We all share this common ground. We all have bumps and bruises. Life is not perfect, and that's okay. But I think through synchronicity and through sharing our personal anthem that we can find that connection again. I know it's in all of us. So let's try today. I am really looking forward to these upcoming episodes. Now that we've launched the Anthem Project, I am starting to invite guests in to come and sit and speak. Our first guest will hopefully entertain you. I think it is an important step to start to bring and bridge our journey together. The first people that will be on will have a little bit more input from things that I've touched on that I don't feel that I'm 100% qualified to speak on. So we're going to entertain you with that. And then further, we're going to start the interview process with others that are comfortable being in front of a camera and want to tell their story and connect the dots with synchronicity. So if you're interested in being on the show, please reach out to us. You can go straight to the website, which is lifebetweencoasts.com. Fill out the contact form and just say, I want to be on your show. And we will reach out to you and invite you to the stage or the set. We will figure out the details, but right now this is a pretty local podcast, so you do have to be in the Michigan area. There's not much traveling at the moment, but that might be something that we can do in the future, hopefully. I'm starting small, but hopefully we can really get to the grassroots portion of this and bring this message to so many. I think one of the things that I recently observed was Bishop Timothy Dolan being interviewed on a TV show. And one of the things that he commented on was faith is pretty easy sell. Hope is a totally different. Because hope is that tiny part that's in us that can be dashed so easily and so quickly. And if I could sell you the hope or the wish of a possibility, that's where I think the connection lies. And I think that being able to change our reaction to things and start to forgive and release will make us a happier and better society. So again, go to our website, lifebetweencoasts.com, fill out the contact form, tell us that you want to be on the show, and we'll reach back out to you. You can email us directly at realpeople@lifebetweencoasts.com, or message or comment or reach out to us through any of our social media pages. Again, we are on Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, all of the above. You can find us also on Spotify, Apple, and all of the major players. So be sure to share, download, and get people listening so we can start having more conversations. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Life Between Coasts. Bye-bye.